Actually, my real skill as a YouTuber is making all the mistakes and telling you about them so you don't have to make them. I'm really good at that. It's a skill. You know, what can I say? I have a talent. I make a lot of mistakes. Hi everyone, welcome back to my next video. One of the questions I get all the time is about laundry. And my answer is, I do laundry exactly the same way on living in a van that I did it at home. I go to a laundromat. You know, a whole bunch of Americans go to the laundromat. It's no big deal. You load it all up in your car, you go to the laundromat, you do your laundry, you go home. It's just that simple. Because it is kind of a pain in the butt, I have a lot of clothes. I can go more than a month without doing laundry, and I almost always do. So when I do go do laundry, I use the big machines, big tumble front loaders, and I use those, and they're kind of expensive. I'll figure between $5 and $6, although they're huge, and they can really get a lot in at once, and I think they get it cleaner. I figure between $5 and $6 a month to do laundry, and you know, to me that's just worth it. That's what I do. That's probably what most of you do and are going to do. But there's a group of travelers, international travelers, who fly or ride bikes or rent mopeds when they get to places, and they just travel all the time. They do their laundry in the hostel sink or in a hotel sink, and so they want to be able to do their laundry small and easy and light in very small stages. They're carrying it all on their back, so they want to be very small. I would rather be smaller too. I would rather be more of a minimalist than I am, and a big part of that would be getting rid of all the clothes I have. I got a ton of clothes because I want to do laundry once a month. One way to get around that is with the Scrubba, and it's designed to hold clothes in it. Anything. It's designed to hold anything. It's got a clear strip here. I don't know how well you can see that. You can see my hand right through there. And it has instructions. You say, well, you can't lose these instructions. It's printed them right on there. It's got 6 steps. You put water in. You put the clothes in. You put the water in. You roll it. You close it. And then you rinse it and dump that dirty water out and rinse it. And then you've got dry. Then you hang it to dry. So it's really simple. Really, really simple. A bunch of reviews on it online, and they all look pretty darn good. They all look like it actually works. It comes, I think the construction is well made. It's been around a long time. I think it's going to hold up. It has 2 fill lines. So this is where the water goes. If you're doing 1 t-shirt, 1 pair of socks, 1 underwear. So you're going to do laundry a lot. But if you're traveling from hostel to hostel, that's not an issue. You have a bathroom with a sink, and you're going to go in and do it in your sink. And they have a load line if you do 2 t-shirts, 2 pairs of socks, and 2 pairs of underwear. So we're going to do that today. We're actually going to try it. I have here 2 t-shirts, 2 pairs of underwear, and 2 pairs of socks. What am I going to use for a soap? I'm going to use Dr. Bronner's. I use Dr. Bronner's for everything. This is an extremely concentrated, all-natural soap. You could drink it. I think you could drink it and it wouldn't kill you. Do not drink it. Oh man, I can't even imagine drinking this stuff. It is really, really safe and not healthy for the environment, but not terribly destructive. I love Dr. Bronner's soap. The very first thing I do is I lay them out and I use a pre-wash on my collars. I think I'm going to try my diluted. So this is how I'm going to use soap. And I don't know if this is going to work or not. I hope so. I think applying it directly to it in this kind of manner will work. It's already diluted, so why not? Okay, so there's 1 t-shirt. I'm going to let that sit. And so this is always a ritual I go through. I always just give that a pre-soak. And as this is a very small load, you can see that you're going to have to do this really often. This is going to become a regular part of your life. That's the great thing about the laundromats. You can go 30 days or however many clothes you have, 2 weeks. I would suggest you have 2 weeks worth of clothes. But here, you can't go through, you can't go 30 days. So, oh, and I didn't show you the most important thing. What separates this from a dry bag, because I've got dry bags. Dry bags are a lot cheaper than this. This thing is $55, which is pretty expensive for a dry bag. I mean, the dry bag's expensive, but it's not $55. What makes this special is the nubs. So you can see one side has nubs. It's just got all these nubs on it. And the nubs are what's supposed to, is the difference between just soaking the clothes and shaking them in any old wet bag and this. These nubs are supposedly going to get your clothes clean. We'll find out. Yeah. Oh, that was a whole gallon of water, and it didn't even go up to the second line. What's not clear to me is you put the clothes in first or after. Well, let's throw the clothes in and we'll find out. All right. They say to use warm water, don't use hot. It specifically says don't use hot water. Cold water is fine. It won't do as well, but it will work just fine. Over once. Make sure it's smooth and flat. All right, let's see if that did it. No, it's still going to have a leak. Again, I bought one of these to use in an ice chest once. I thought, well, it's a wet bag, dry bag. I'll put all my ice in this, put it in there, and it'll never leak out because this is leak proof. It didn't work. It all leaked out. And so I was really surprised by that. And next time I was in an outdoor shop, I said, hey, I tried this, and this doesn't keep water in. He says, no, it doesn't keep water in. You can't think this is keeping all the water in here. But it doesn't come out easily, and you can do your clothes with it without it all pouring out. That's what this is for. And this is the idea here. You're scrubbing it against the nubs. And you can see that, you know, it's not an issue with water coming out. They also say to release this valve, and then you seal it tight. And now I can squeeze it in water or air isn't coming out. That's the idea behind that. All right, well, I'm done. I'm going to let that sit. It's 11:15 right now. I'm going to let this set for a bit, and then I'll rinse it. So now we're going to do a real rinse. All right. 2 gallons of water is probably what you need. I'm not going to take the air out. I think that leaving the air in, we'll let it move around in the water freer. Just because now we're just rinsing. So that's pretty good imitation of agitation right there. But you can see that by leaving the air in there, the clothes are really agitated. Probably they're more agitated than they would be in your laundry at home. Seems to me you would need to rinse it again. And that's one of the reasons to use Dr. Bronner's, is because it's safe. If there's some residue in there, it's not going to hurt you because it's a really natural, healthy, reasonably healthy soap. I've been told that if you accidentally leave like something like Tide in, that can be really unpleasant for your skin. Now I'm kind of trying to wring the clothes. This looks to me coming up next, getting the initial cold, the initial soaked out of the clothes is the thing that's going to be the hardest. Because if you hang your clothes up, it's a good hot day, good sun, they should dry okay today. But if it's a cool day, slightly overcast day, and you hang your clothes and they're sopping wet, who knows how long it'll take. All right, well, I'm going to call that done. Okay, so I gave it a couple hours to dry, and everything is now completely dry, and it looks so far to me like it's completely clean and fresh, and I think it looks great. I think it looks like it couldn't have done any better a job. To me, the big thing with, especially with my t-shirts, is the grime around my collar. That's the first thing I always look to, and they look really good. So it looks as good as it ever has coming out of a laundry. It worked great. So my, of course, I fumbled around a lot and I made a lot of mistakes. Actually, my real skill as a YouTuber is making all the mistakes and telling you about them so you don't have to make them. I'm really good at that. It's a skill. You know, what can I say? I have a talent. I make a lot of mistakes, and then I tell you about them, and hopefully you can avoid them. This worked really, really well. The thing works. You can only do a small amount. You know, this is every 2-3 days probably. This would probably have lasted me 4 days. I would have to do probably the pants if I had, you know, full leg pants. I would probably have to do a separate one with them and maybe a t-shirt or maybe a pair of underwear and a pair of pants, because you just don't get much in that thing. But it gets it completely clean. It absolutely functions and works. Will I use it? I don't know. I don't have any question about it's not all that hard. After I make all the mistakes here initially, I won't be making them over and over again. It definitely gets your clothes clean and works. Would I rather go once a month and have a couple 3-hour hassle, or would I rather have a hassle every 5 days, a really minor hassle of doing this every 5 days? You know, I honestly don't know how that would work for me. My personality, I would probably rather go once a month. But if I were in a car, an SUV, something really small, I couldn't afford the space for a month's worth of clothes. If I were going to a laundromat once a week, for sure I would do this. Absolutely, I would do this rather than go to a laundromat. Far, far better. Once a week, I'd get this thing out. You saw me do it. It's not hard. I wouldn't keep making the same mistakes over again. And that would be far better and easier for me than going to a laundromat. It'd be an awful lot cheaper. You will definitely pay back the cost of the bag, $55, if you did that routinely. No question in my mind about that either. You'd pay it back within the year. But I have room for 30 days worth of clothes. So once a month, $5, $6, $7 at a laundromat, you know, I don't mind doing that. And my house is there. I just, you know, I go in, put my clothes in, come back out and sit in my home. It's not that big a deal. It's easier than if I were in an apartment building and had to go down to the you know, the main laundry area of an apartment complex. It's far easier than that. So I don't know whether I would or not. Only you can decide for yourself. What I can absolutely tell you is the thing works. It's easy to use. Your clothes come clean. I think if you do it routinely enough, you will more than pay for itself, $55 for the bag. And that if you are in a tight space, you are a true minimalist, you do not want 30 days worth of clothing. And that means I've got probably 20 pairs of underwear or more in the van right now. I probably have at least a dozen, more than a dozen t-shirts, because I wear them a couple days and I go a month. If you don't want that, if you don't have room for that, this is an excellent, excellent, excellent choice. So I went ahead and hung it upside down, and it's sort of all dried out, so it's completely dry. There's the nubs. Hopefully you can see those. Get you some angle, some shade, so you can see the nubs. They work. They really did. They came out really clean. The see-through thing works well. From everything I've read, it's durable. It lasts. Has all the instructions right there. You know, once you've done it once, you're never going to have to look at them again. The fill lines that seem to work. I filled up to about halfway in between the two. That seemed to work. It's a good device. It's worth the money. It definitely works. If it fits in your lifestyle, I highly recommend it. I'm not sure if it fits in mine. I think I'll try and use it a few more times and make a decision then. Okay, I hope you got something out of this video, that you've got a new base of knowledge